anti-inflammatory, a lot of painkillers. There are days when I take about 5-6 painkillers. And there are days when I'm very badly off. But after a lot of physiotherapy, that's become part of life for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Irritates me, but
I'm sure you will lick it as time passes.
Inshallah.
So, are you still in the care of your foreign doctors, your British doctors, or?
No, my reports go there. My reports go there every 1 month. I have to send X-rays.
But is it restraining you from doing anything, action or dancing and things like that?
Nothing besides breathing. Otherwise, it's okay. It only pains when I laugh.
Right.
So it has been quite painful actually. And hopefully in a couple of months. Yes, I can't dance fully well as yet. I can't do action fully well. But I've been doing it because my doctor says I need to get back into the real world to find out how real the pain is.
And that's tough because pain, sickness is a very personal thing. And you have to handle it all in such glare of public attention and...
Yeah, I mean, there's always been issues. I've noticed a lot of actors don't even talk about their illnesses and these are private matters. But but when I was ill, I'm very clear that I'm ill. I don't want to give any... The stakes are very high on me at times. The film industry has a lot of money riding on me. So I don't want anyone to lose anything. So if I'm unwell, then I'm unwell and I tell everyone I'm unwell. Though it gets a little irritating at times.
Intrusive.
A little intrusive it is, but that's part of the job I do.
Small price to pay for stardom.
It's a very small price. I tell everyone if they had to change my whole spine, my hand, leg, nose, I would still feel very happy that I became a film star and the whole world knows about my disease. It's okay. I love being a film star.
You're also an unusual film star in other ways. For one, you read a lot. You read serious stuff.
Don't say that. Don't say that on camera. Other actors will feel I'm telling them they're uneducated. But I read a lot, yes. That's
and I have somebody else, who's also a fairly big star, tell me on camera that he doesn't read any newspaper. And he also said he doesn't need to.
I think I need to read newspapers. I do read newspapers. I read them cover to cover actually. The politics part I sort of avoid, but I want to know who's doing what, saying what. It helps in acting. Sports columns more. And nowadays papers have also become like film glossies actually, lots of them. So you get to read about it without having to turn to any film magazine.
And sometimes in fact often you get to read about yourself.
Yeah, I read very often. I think, there was a time when I joined films, I thought it was a great honor to be on the cover of a newspaper. Now it's become quite easy to be on the newspaper. I think cinema is selling a lot more than... somebody said a very strange thing to me, that movies are selling everything except the movies. And that really is true. So I think even newspapers are using us to get a little sales.
Well, movies have now become a generic thing. So you can sell merchandise through movies, you can sell music through movies. You can sell other products through movie stars. So I think movies have now become a very generic thing.
You can sell everything.
Not just a show.
No, it's just
for which you pay 120 rupees.
Not at all. I think cinema has become much wider, much bigger, and much cleaner, nicer, professional way of selling
much
things.
Much cleaner and nicer in which way?
It's just becoming a little more professional now. It is becoming a little more time bound.
You mean people are more punctual? They are less nakras?
Well, as far as I've been working for 12-13 years, and I've never really come across all this talk of people being late and having tantrums. Yes, you get angry. Actors are sensitive people, so there can be problems. But most of the time, I've never really had an issue with that.
So when you say it's become more organized, nicer, tell me a few areas in which you've seen significant improvement.
Technically, for one, you have better equipment now. People are becoming, because of television actually, people are becoming more aware of quality. To get quality, you need to have specialization.
But that's funny. Do you think TV is giving competition to movies?
No, television is not a competition.
So you said because of television...
I think the fact that you are more exposed to Western cinema through television. There was a time when English movies came only a couple of theatres, like Sterling or say, in Delhi it would be Chanakya. But now movies are coming in your house, and the latest films. So the technique has become visible to the ordinary audience.
I think the other area where the business of cinema has changed is how transparent it has become in terms of money. More transactions are by check now. I presume most stars are being paid by check now with TDS taken out.
I think business is as transparent as we want it to be. So I think cinema has always been like any other business.
But it has now become more transparent as other businesses have become more transparent. And tax rates have got more rationalized.
No, I think the tax structure being more rationalized has helped every business. So it must have helped cinema also. But as far as I have known, most of the regular filmmakers don't really do deal in any other way but the official way. And films have always been made like that. And I think it's a great point for media to harp on about parallel economy running in cinema and all. But I completely deny it. Not only deny it, I'm vehemently against anyone saying anything which is anti-films and the finances where the films are.
Well, you can afford to say that, because I believe a couple of years back you got the prize for being the highest taxpayer.
I get it nearly every year actually. I'm called there and they are very nice to me. Sometimes they hate me even after that, but otherwise they're very nice.
So what does it mean? It denies the pleasure of being rated?
I don't want to see the pleasure of being rated actually. I mean, it takes, my problem is it will take away for 2-3 days of shooting, which means a lot more money than they would be asking in penalties actually.
But you've been rated despite being given the award for being one of the highest.
Yeah, that was about 5-6 years back. I was rated after being given the award, and they still are trying to find out if I have any money hidden in the sofa.
And that was I believe very soon after they gave you the award.
The next day actually. The next day.
Exactly the day after they gave you the award, they came to your house visiting.
The next day.
So what happened? You didn't get to give the children autographs? Or?
No, they didn't come with the children. I met the children later during the inquiry.
This is your place.
I think this is nicer. You'll get to see some of the sets being made this time.
It's really a world of make-believe, Once you see this on screen, you can't really figure out all the dust and the grime and the mess that goes on.
No, filmmaking is difficult. It is very dusty, very grimy. The glamour is only in the complete film that you see.
Right.
I would say it's one of the most unhealthy places to work in sometimes, the sets, if you notice. Right. They are getting better. Like I said, everything is getting better. But it's a difficult job. It's a very difficult job.
I think the biggest change in cinema in terms of the business is...
You want to sit on the peacock throne?
Well, you do things like that. At least you look presentable on things like this. I did that. See, one is its professionalism, cleaner money, professionalism. I think arrival of younger people. But what is it? Tell me the 3 big changes you've seen, which are changes for the better.
I think the biggest change is the professionalism. I think second is that we are getting open to story ideas. The third would be corporates coming into the film industry. Though I personally have always had this feeling that you would need a different kind of corporatization for films, because it's a creative medium where you're bringing in pure business sense. But there needs to be an amalgamation of the two. It cannot be exactly tie suits, power lunches, because people are very emotional about films. People who make films are very emotional about films. I cry when I'm making a film. I give a good shot, everybody celebrates. So it's a very highly strung emotional work atmosphere. Mainly because it is creative. People don't like to think of that, but it's like a painting or it's like a song, it's like music. So it is very creative. So you need to have a kind of a balance between the corporate image.
Yeah, so in a corporate culture you need to make provision for
a peacock throne and some trees like this and stuff.
Right, and the mindset that goes with it.
And the mindset, mainly the mindset of the people who are going to head these corporations has to be of people who are film lovers, who are cinema lovers, who go and buy tickets in black, who cry when they see a film, laugh when a song is on.
The other thing that's said about Bombay cinema, like you, I also detest the expression Bollywood, which I think is not fair.
I abhor it, yeah.
It's not fair. It's like calling Indian languages vernacular.
Yes,
so judgmental.
Yeah, it is very
judgmental. The other thing that's been said is, the plots are all dumb. It's boy meets girl, girl meets boy, one rich, one poor, or siblings separated at village fairs. How far is cinema moving from these 4 or 5 formulae now?
I think there's not going to be a change, and there's not a formula. Like when you say plots, the plots are dumb everywhere. I mean, what story can you tell? You try telling a story to your child every night. You'll end up saying the same story. एक राजा था, एक रानी थी, दोनों का प्यार हो गया, फिर रानी उससे बिछड़ गई, फिर राजा उसको मिलने को गया. और you'll say एक राजा था, एक रानी थी, एक मंत्री था उस राजा का, वो बहुत डेंजरस था, वो उसकी सारी जायदाद को हड़पना चाह रहा था. एक राजा था, एक रानी थी. So any story that you start with, there are going to be only 5 stories. So Titanic is same.
But Shahrukh, the Western world, Hollywood for example, it's able to get much more into slice of life ideas.
I think they...
Basic instinct, in a way, slice of life. Disclosure in a way, slice of life.
No, I'll tell you why they can get into a slice of life. Because they already achieved a very high standard of life. As long as you're going to have, none of the audience forgoes a meal to go and buy the ticket to see an Main Khan film, or a Shahrukh Khan film, or a Hrithik Roshan film, or a Mr. Bachchan film. So here you have people who see a film only once a year during the Diwali. They sit in trucks and they go down. The cinema is much more than just a professional mode of entertainment.
So you've got to give them a bigger meal, a fuller meal.
You can't tell them that I'm going to give you cow's tongue to eat, or I'm going to give you a delicacy which comes in small little containers with a huge tray, and enjoy this. You can't give them, I can't even say the name, hors d'oeuvres. How do you pronounce it? HORSDE. Beginners, hors d'oeuvres.
Right.
I don't even, I don't enjoy it. I like my bhel puri. So you need to give them bhel puri.
Difficult to pronounce that. If you fly 5 different airlines.
I know. I always say, give me the thing I can't pronounce.
5 stewardesses will get
say it differently.
Yes.
Say it differently.
Yes.
So I always tell them, the thing I can't pronounce, I want that. Starters is what we Indians call it. But you can't give them starters and expect them to be full. They have foregone their meal when they've come to see a Hindi film. And as long as that is, I have to dance for them, I have to sing for them, I have to emote for them, I have to romance for them, I have to love for them, I have to die for them in the same film.
Preferably not die.
Whatever.
Then the film might have a problem.
My film's on Devdas did. Dying works for him.
That's a one-off.
But that's the only one I've done. Bazigar. I died in Bazigar. Dar.
Bazigar. Watching Hollywood, which are the 2 or 3 films that you admire the most?
I've liked a film called It's a Mad World.
Yes, all of us saw it when we were very young.
It's one of my favorite all-time favorite films.
Much younger.
I was very young. And I'm not supposed to tell you when my birthday is either. But I saw that. That was very interesting. I think it's a madcap comedy. I've enjoyed all Coen brother films. They're very interesting.
Which ones in particular?
Like Where Art Thou Brother is very nice. I think Fargo is brilliant, outstanding, I think. Then I've enjoyed Titanic a lot. I thought that was very well made.
Why have we not been so good at making movies on our history or classics? There's not been a great Indian film on Mahabharata. There isn't a research story to tell.
I wanted to make a film on Mahabharata. I wanted to make a movie on Mahabharata, but they told me there are 18 volumes of Mahabharata. So that would require a tremendous effort of 2 years. And then there are going to be forces which will say, no, this is right. I made a little film on Ahsoka. Right. And I had people from all over India saying, no, this is wrong, this is right. Because I think we don't want to accept an interpretation in cinema.
Well, history will be like that. I think even films made on the Holocaust have had questions raised about them. And
but here,
is much more recent than Ahsoka.
Yeah, but I don't think you have had movie halls being burned down by a section of people. Suddenly, you give importance to something, and then suddenly a section of people feel it's theirs, and they wonder. It's an interpretation. You have to realize films are not life.
Does some of it come from the fact that you carry the name Shahrukh Khan?
No, I don't think so. I think, as a matter of fact, I wanted to say something which is very, very communally harmonious. Is that I have yet not played a Muslim character except once in Kamal Hassan's film as a guest role. And if you notice in the history of Indian cinema, most of the Muslims have done very well as actors.
In fact, Muslim characters in Hindi cinema are the most honorable people.
Most honorable
people. Usually end up
people,
sacrificing their lives for their Hindu friend.
Yes.
In the past, people like Dilip Kumar, so many of the big stars had to change their names, Madhubala, from a Muslim name to something that was more religion neutral. Today you, Salman Khan, Amir Khan, you can have what names you want. You're carrying your own name.
And people call us some other names too, yeah. Which is okay, some of us.
Some other names means the names that come out of the movie characters? Or?
No. When they want to be dirty to us.
But that's all right. But that they could do anyway. So what has changed whereby you now feel sort of, I won't say secure enough, but relaxed enough to retain your Muslim name?
I really wouldn't know the timings of when you mention people like Dilip Saab and all. I think there was more of, that is more to do with Kumar as well in that time. I think Kumar was I think because of Rajkumar and the name Kumar attached to it was something which was done with a lot of actors, whether it's Manoj Kumar or Mr. Rajendra Kumar or Mr. Rajkumar.
But does anything make you conscious of your Muslim identity that you are?
No, not at all. I've never been made to feel like I think I'm a majority.
But you're majority in the sense of, how many people love you. But
No, never have I been made to feel...
Or when you see things happening in the country, whether it's Babi Masjid or whether it's the kind of things that happen in Gujarat.
No, it bothers me also when things happen both ways, even if it happens to the Christians, if it happens to the Hindus, or if it happens to the Muslims. It's very, very disturbing to me. Because I'm married to a Hindu lady. My children will be brought up in knowing both the religions. And they can make the choice, or they can become Christians if they feel like. But I think that's the kind of secularism and communal feeling we should have.
I read you said somewhere that if Hindus and Muslims can't sort out Babi Masjid, Ayodhya issue, give it to the Christians.
Give it to someone else. Let somebody else come. And I don't even think, actually give it to Indians to sort it out themselves. And don't think of them as Hindus and Muslims. Don't think of them as Christians and Sikhs. Think of them as Indians.
And don't think of them as political beings.
I don't think so. I don't think this cannot... I mean, politicizing religion is the easiest way to do it. Religion is the opium of masses.
But do you see more of that happening now in India? Politicizing of the religion?
Not more. I think since I've been able to read newspapers, I've noticed a lot of it is politicized. And I think it's unfortunate. And I think people should realize more than...
How deeply does it bother you?
It bothers me very deeply. It bothers me very, very deeply.
Because you're truly a pan-Indian role model. You don't see yourself as Muslim or Hindu, nor do we.
Yes.
Does it sometimes make you think that maybe people like you have to rise and may play a more proactive role in stopping this?
I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it. I think I'm too much of a yuppie and too greedy to give up my personal selfish life.
Too used to a soft life, is it?
I'm too used to, not a soft life, I work very hard,
right,
but used to a life which is just about me and my family and my close friends. I think I'm too much in love with myself to give it all up, at least at this stage as I talk. Maybe later on.
But do you see yourself doing something? People like Richard Gere, for example, Jane Fonda, they've all become active in either causes or they're trying to make a difference.
I don't believe in institutions doing the causes. I want to do them myself. I have a lot of thoughts in my mind to open orphanages and hospitals, but I want to do it from the money that I earn from films. And I want to do it on my own. I don't want no business house helping me. I don't want no central force helping me. I want to do it myself. And
what are you reading these days, Shahrukh?
Right now, I just started a book called Chances, which is a fiction about an actor who doesn't know what to write in his profession because he's not worked for the last 5 years. And I was reading Prophet Muhammad's biography. One English lady has written a very nice book on Prophet Muhammad. I read 3 books at the same time.
That's a new thing, I believe. You're reading a lot on Islam.
I'm reading a lot on Islam. I need to know why is there so much happening in the name of Christianity and Islam. Christianity, I'm from an Irish brother school. So I knew a bit about it, but I want to know the politics of what is happening, because I believe I'm Islamic, I believe I'm a Muslim, and I know the meaning of Quran to a certain extent. I've read it, and I find it wrong.
Do you pray?
I pray.
5 times a day?
Not 5 times a day. I don't pray 5 times a day. The religion part of it I don't follow so staunchly maybe, but I'm a true believer of Allah, and I have not read anything anywhere which makes me feel aggressive.
Yes. So the question you're asking yourself is, how is Islam acquiring this aggressive
Yes,
image?
why is it when we talk terrorism
and why is such hostility and insecurity about Islam?
Yes, why such hostility internationally, especially in the West, in America, and it should not be so. I don't think
things like Iraq, Palestine bother you?
Yes, they bother me. They trouble me to know that they are reading the same books that I've read, and I'm sure they believe the same beliefs that I have. Then why is the world looking at God? Yes, and they follow Allah, and why are some people looking at it with aggression? I don't think, I think there is a misunderstanding.
No, it's very interesting. It's a point that, many of us have made many times. I've made in my writing, and now it's a widely acknowledged point that the US has Al-Qaeda suspects from all nationalities, but not one Indian. Right? Mr. Advani made this point on this show that even in our Kashmir, there is terrorism, but we've hardly found any other Indian Muslim caught up even in terrorism in our Kashmir. So there's something about the Indian system, the constitution, or maybe our ethos, which has given the Indian Muslim kind of feeling that, look, if I have a problem, I can get justice or redressal in this system. You believe that?
Yes, I believe. I think Indian Muslims are really wonderful. I think to be in a country which is dominated not by their religion, and to live peacefully, and to be able to have friends. And I'm sure all the Hindus also love them. I mean, it's such a...
But as a Muslim, given what's happened in the last few years, Gujarat, Ayodhya, have you felt more secure, less secure? Or have you felt bothered?
I'm bothered. I'm not insecure or secure. I don't think anyone can say anything to me living in this country because I'm a true blue Indian and nobody can take that right away from me or my family on the basis of the religion I follow. And I very strongly believe that, so I don't feel insecure at all. And I don't feel most secure about, but it bothers me to read and see images. It could have been Muslim or Hindu images, but the images that one sees, one does get bothered.
What is it that bothers you in our political discourse right now?
It bothers me that a lot of politicians are using religion as a baton for explaining their right to rule, and I think that is
some
completely
example.
wrong. All of them are using. All of them are using. The guys who are saying that, you know, when they talk about being pro-Hindu, they should say, okay, Hinduism is fantastic. I think it has some of the most brilliant qualities in the world. I've read the Ramayana, I've read the Mahabharata, Amar Chitra Katha version. I've acted in Ram Leelas. My friends are all Hindus. So I understand their philosophy. But by saying that Hinduism is good, you can't prove one religion is better than the other by deriding the other.
Right.
Similarly, the Islamic people do it. And they say, you know, these guys are killing us. Nobody's killing nobody. It's just the Indians killing Indians, which is shameful.
Well, Shahrukh, those are very nice sentiments. And I think if this situation has to improve and communities have to come closer, then first of all, Hindi cinema has to play a big role. It's been playing a big role. In fact, one of our most secular institutions has been Hindi cinema, barring some films recently that I should not name. I bet they bothered you as well.
They bothered me a lot, but they show our neighbors in bad light. We don't need to...
and this demonizing that goes on.
Yes, we don't need to make bad guys from some other country. We have enough bad guys, enough good guys in this country. We have enough heroes, enough villains. I think we should exhaust that in our films before we look elsewhere for bad guys.
Shahrukh, thank you very much on that. Keep smiling.
Thank you very much.
Keep on getting better. All of us have a great stay in your health, happiness, success.
Thank you. God bless.